It's a new year. Hope everybody had a fantastic transition to 2022. We are back here with more Esports Tower. Cannot wait to kick off the new year in a spectacular fashion. It is the Club Championships wrapping up last year in a fantastic way all throughout this week and next week. Cannot wait here from the Boys State Game Pants Esports. We're going to kick things off with our Valorant Club Championships here in the Esports Tower. We've got a stacked lineup of teams returning for the championship. Expecting some really exciting games throughout the next few weeks. On the show tonight, we'll bring you 2 matches from round 1, and then we'll bring you our first semifinal. Next week, we'll have our other semifinal and the grand finals to crown our club champion. I'm your host, Michael Fisher. Joining me to call all of the action is Hayden Vagar Dalton. And Hayden, as we get ready to go here, we're going to see some returning faces. We're going to see some new teams as well, and we're also going to start off on a map that we have not seen in forever. We're going to start off on Breeze. What are your thoughts on Breeze? It's a map in the Esports Tower we saw right when it was made competitively legal, and we really haven't seen it since.
Well, as we've seen people play out on it, there's a good reason why you don't see anyone wanting to play on it. It's just such a big map that, like, you have to build entire team comps just around playing on it, let alone doing well.
And you talked about the team comps, so we know we're going to Breeze. What agents are you looking for? What team comps are you looking for the team that's going to come out on top to build around?
Most likely, I think there's no doubt picking Viper. She is 100% needed on this map, as the sight lines are too long for any of the other smoke agents to actually do much, except maybe Astra, which is very niche situations.
Well, let's take a look at our bracket, at our club championships. Again, we're going to kick off with Breeze between the Infernos and the Landslides. We'll also take a look at the Red Monsoons and the Floods in our second game, and then we'll wrap things up. Winner of our first game taking on the winner of Wildcat Esports and the Blue Monsoons in our first semifinal. Then, of course, next week we'll have the other semifinal. Then we'll have our grand finals, and we will crown a club championship for the fall season. We have a lot of returning champions. The Landslides, Droughts, Infernos all have won in the past. Red Monsoons, Blue Monsoons, and the Floods have all had some spectacular finishes. And Wildcat Esports, who we might see in our final game tonight, they are new to the Rumble, so I'm very curious. Your first ever Rumbles in the Club Championship. That must be a very talented team, but we will have to wait and see. As we said, we're kicking it off with Infernos and Landslides. Before we do that, though, let's head over to Doc's Keys of the Game, presented by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Those are focus, angles, and flank. Know your win conditions, count cards, call abilities, and click heads. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Kicking things off, bracket stage round 1, the Landslides taking on the Infernos. Second time we get to see this full Landslides new roster at full strength. We saw it in the grand finals a couple weeks ago. Infernos having a couple of strong few weeks. We'll see if they can bounce back here as we head over to Breeze. And as you said, you're looking for that Viper pick. Hayden, anything else that you're looking for, anything else you would recommend to these teams in order to win here on Breeze? Because it could be your final game of the fall season.
Well, that's a tough one with Breeze. I feel like a lot of your other agents don't necessarily matter. Mm-hmm. It's mainly like, do you want to go in quick with something like a Jet, or do you want to like play a more defensive comp, take Sages, kind of just zone them off and burn time?
Do you think Breeze, because you said why it's not picked, and of course we don't get to know why they picked it, what was banned. Why would you pick Breeze? Is it because you think you have a really good Viper player? Give us the positives at least, Hayden, of why the team might pick Breeze though.
Well, I guess the main reason would be if you practice it a lot and stuff, it could almost be your like kind of ace up the sleeve. You pick Breeze, no one knows how to play on it or play on it very well, and you got this very nice strategy in mind.
Well, as we load in, you can see on the left the Infernos pretty much all locked in. They've got that Viper on the right. The Landslides haven't quite locked in yet, but they're probably going to go with that Viper as well. So besides the Viper, assuming everyone locks in of the agents they've been hovering for the last 20, 30 seconds here, Hayden, what are you taking away from both team comps?
Well, with the left side team comp, is that the Infernos?
Yeah, that's the Infernos.
Okay. They got the Sova, the Sky, and the Jet, so it looks like they're planning on just like rushing in there off of the utility and just getting a foothold. And then on the right side with the Landslides, kind of the same thing, honestly. They swapped out. They don't bring the Cypher in. They bring the Sage to kind of just slow any pushes, and same with the KO. But then KO can also be used to push in with them.
I'm excited for the KO. I think it's an operator we've seen somewhat infrequently, a little bit more than Breeze, but it's one of those that a lot of talk is he fills a lot of roles good but doesn't do anything great, and I'm curious how they'll use it, and I'm also curious to see how these teams will do. Again, second chance we get a look at the full Landslides roster. The new one, of course, they kind of had a rebrand after their dominance in the spring and the summer. They were our Week 8 champions, and we will kick things off here on the pistol round. And what are you looking for from the attacking team? Because right now they look like they're going to just charge down A.
Yeah, it looks like just a full-on A charge here. I guess the main thing is seeing how the defense reacts, and if they can stall time, or if the landslides can just, win this one in a landslide. Just get on site here and take them out quick.
Well, they look to push on A site. The Viper wall goes up. A great blind onto the Cypher cam. And so far with the Sage wall down, Viper's looking for a jumping headshot. Barely gets out alive, though. Boone does pick up a kill on the Solix.
Oh, wow, through the smoke.
It's a great job by Zed Evan. Everyone's rotated out. It's a 4-on-4, making a 4-on-3. Kinetic gets the headshot onto Boone. Gotta land your bullets there. Prestige and Cruz both pick up 2. Now it's a 2-on-2 with the Landslides having the health advantage here.
One enemy remaining.
What?
Oh, wow.
What? Excuse me?
Cruz with the double headshots there.
I didn't even see the first guy. All right, I mean, can't learn too much for the pistol round. This is a great play by Cruz, using that healing from the Reyna. Meanwhile, Prestige just kind of ran away on the Jet. That's just better gunplay, it feels like, Hayden.
Yeah, that one was clean right there. This one, you can still see a bit of their head. The other one, that was just pixels.
And that was a great use of the Sage Wall, right? The Sage Wall never got taken down, so he had it as cover. The only thing you could do was land headshots, which are very rewarding. And now as we get ready here on the second round, it looks like the Landslides are going to do the exact same thing, even with the gun advantage this time.
Yeah, it's no surprise. They're just trying to get in here and just get this round over with.
Kinetic does pick up a kill, though. Zed Evan looking for a second one. Not quite able to find it, so even with all these Spectres, finally they even it up. Prestige and Boone both pick up a kill. Boone looking for a couple more. And now it's down to a 4-on-1, and Delete will make sure they only lose one member. So this should be a pretty clean bonus round as well for the Landslides.
Yeah, not too big a surprise there, though Zed burned off so much time there.
Now that we get to the third round, Hayden, it starts to even up a little bit more. Anything you can recommend the Infernos? I mean, they lost those 2 rounds basically on hard A rushes. Anything you think they can change up, or was that just a simple case of better shooting in the first round, and then, of course, you're outgunned in the second round?
Yeah, I want to say that the Infernos kind of did everything right there in the first round, and it just came down to gunplay. They delayed them so long that the entire rest of their team had time to show back up. It's just, Cruz with those very cheeky headshots.
This time the Landslide's going to play it a lot slower. Could potentially have a 2-on-1 over on B with that Viper that you talked about, Hayden, basically holding down the site solo. I think that's the fight they're going to take. So what can Mo do over on B? And Mo will get 1 for 1, and now the rotation's going to come out as everyone knows B is the play.
Yeah. Jet having that Vandal is huge right now. Kind of gives them a fighting chance in these long-range engagements.
Get the Empress available as well if you want to use it. But right now it's a retake here for the Infernos, and great positioning for most of the Landslides as the Infernos are basically coming in one way at a time. Blind does land on a Prestige, does get the audible Q. Barely saw Prestige, but right now time is not on the side. Cruz at 1 HP, somehow still alive as they trade 1 for 1.
1 HP on the Reyna here. Let's see if she can pull it off.
1 enemy remaining.
I don't think they have time, though.
They just got to get out with these weapons and live to fight another day.
I like the save. What about you? I think that I mean, their eco might be a little bit messed up, but they have lost 3 rounds in a row. So you okay with the 2-man save there?
Yeah, it was better than just sticking there and dying with their rifles. If they wanted to win that, I believe they just needed to push in a little bit faster and just commit to it. The landslides had such a good hold there with the crossfire. They weren't letting people push up, and at some point, the Infernos just needed to send it, regardless of what happens there.
I mean, you said the reason you might pick bind is if you scrim this map a lot, if you feel like you have an advantage, because you said a lot of teams don't like this map, and feels like that's exactly what the landslides has done. We're going to get another hard A rush. It's going to be a 5-on-3 at the start. Cruz will trigger the tripwire and then stare at it, which unfortunately is an untimely death for him. We get the knives ripped immediately for Prestige.
Yeah, they're just ready to commit to this.
I think they took too long is the problem.
Yeah, I feel like Zed, his Cypher is just holding them out so long that it's making it impossible to get onto site quickly.
We are going to get a bit of a flank here by the Viper from the Infernos. You can see on your map there, right next to a couple of members. As Prestige does finally get a knife kill onto Viper, so will most likely get the got the reset. Oh, he's right on the back, but missed every knife! Oh, no!
Unfortunate.
Luckily, they look like they're still going to be able to win the round. Solix does get one, but
that could have been huge if he got that second one, then be down to a 1v1 with the spike down.
And what a great little flank that we got here from the landslides. They couldn't siege immediately. I mean, of course, it's kind of ruined by the fact that Prestige missed every knife, but that was a fantastic flank to just change the angle but not change the site since they knew they had kind of full committed.
Mm-hmm. They knew they couldn't just do that full-on rush, so they just went around. They could have even just walked away at that point, too, but it worked out in the end.
Now it looks like the landslides will move over to B, though there are 2 members over there, and the dog is going to give away, I think, 3 or 4 members of the landslide. So a great use of that Sky Kit to be able to pick one up, though unfortunately, Boone's going to get one that does get traded out with a nice flank from Kinetic.
The Cypher is down on this site now. That is big because he's been what's been holding them from pushing A so quickly.
They did also blow the Viper all on B, so A is basically wide open as Prestige gets one, can't quite land a second onto Solix, but that Viper all used means A would be open, but I don't think the landslides get there in time, unfortunately. Maybe?
It looks like the Infernos are kind of unsure on which site to hold here.
They don't have anyone on A, and they're really thinking they're going back to B. They do get a great pick from Solix down onto delete. And I think the spike will go down. Yes, it will, but it's a 3-on-2 here for the landslides for Fangzi and Cruz.
Cruz popping Empress here.
Hunter's Fury also going to get ripped. Not able to find anything as Cruz picks up one.
Oh, unfortunate.
Mo. Oh, Fangzi gets him through the smoke.
Clean.
Like, yeah, this score line clearly says that the landslides are doing a lot better than the Infernos, but you look, I mean, this is the second round now where this is just a gun skill, not even difference. I mean, this is just insane gunplay from Fangzi.
It's such unfortunate timing on Cruz there. They go around the corner, reappear there, just waiting, or they were just waiting for him and gun him down.
Gets the spray, but almost, not quite a spray transfer, but basically the great one onto the second member as well. Kinetic will rip the knives, as I think it is an eco round for the Infernos, and Solix gets a nice headshot there with the Marshall.
I believe that was through the door as well.
The worst part about the Sage Res is if you don't have a wall. You're basically giving someone a second death for no reason.
Yeah, just got to hand them over some cash for their economy.
See the landslides for the first time ever really looking a little bit confused. Oh, Solix trying to get some damage out onto that KO. Nothing going to land onto Boone, however. As Cruz will pick up one, and now B site's wide open, and this should be an easy plant for the landslide. Oh, nice flash.
Oh, they trade out, though. Always worth it on the save.
We've got the neural theft. Just ripped the neural theft. There's a corpse right in front of you.
Spike planted.
Well, I guess that Evan will not opt for that. Him and Fangsy are almost going to run into each other over by that sage wall as Kinetic gets a headshot with the Marshall. You would not believe this is an eco round for the Infernos.
No, this is huge. The amount of damage they're able to deal to their economy right now.
Now, Kinetic did have the knives, and that is in a 1v2, however, forced to dash away. Got to try and make a miracle happen with the Marshall. Oh, my.
Just couldn't quite hit those shots.
They almost gave him a Marshall collateral, which would have been hilarious.
Now, do you think if that was Hatless Cypher there, he could have pulled it off?
Yeah, they had the dead body from that trade that you had mentioned. I don't know why they didn't rip the neural theft. Maybe because they're outgunned and they, you know, two of the members did have a Marshall, but man, I would have thought they would have ripped it. Thought it looked like potentially the Infernos did pick up an op. Yes, they did. So we'll see what Kinetic can do with the op now. Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Instant 4v5.
That's the power of the op. I'm surprised the landslides don't have one. Prestige has shown his opping ability in the past, but he'll rip the knives instead. And, oh, this would be a huge flank. You see the sky there. Viper's rotating through spawn. I just think he's a smidge too late, however, though he did pop the Seekers, so that's kind of what I think he was following. That's a great camp.
Yeah, it's crazy to see some of these Cypher cams that people have come up with.
Get the cam on B. B is wide open in a sense, so I think all of the Cypher utility is on B right now. Which is something Zed Evan does a really good job of. What do you do here if you're the landslides, Hayden? You're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now.
Yeah, look at the sky there. Two people right next to him. Don't even know. There we go.
I thought he'd even have it because that was a great Sova arrow from Solix, but unfortunately the Sky got caught with the utility out.
And that pick here was huge, though. Now it's back to a 4v4. Evens out.
Ooh, what a spray from... How?
Oh.
I don't know how Fangsy knew he was there. That was a great pick. They're running out of time, however. But they did end up leaving B side open, so Prestige can get that plant down, and with the knives, might be able to hold on here.
Yeah, they certainly have turned this round from just like looking like a straight defeat to at the very least neck and neck here.
It's a 3v3. There's an op on the side of the landslides as Prestige goes down with the knives. Oh, Cruz, you sneaky. Gets one there. You've got Delete with the fantastic Viper lineups over in the corner. Are they just going to run out of time?
Last player standing.
Yep.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, can Kinetic get out?
Unfortunate.
They both get out, but 7-0 landslides there. I mean, what is your advice for the Infernos? Because it's so close, but every round the landslides are just figuring out how to be 5% better, and that's why this lead is ballooned to 7.
Oh, man, it's very tough here because I feel like a lot of this comes down to time. Just not having enough time to clear out sites or, you know, defuse the spike. But at the same time, they're also getting picked by just these like little cheeky plays. So it's almost like they need to be faster but more thorough. That would just be more focused on a particular area and just, yeah.
Yeah, I am with you with the retakes have just taken so long for the Infernos. So they do find Mo there. Gets blinded as well, but Kinetic still has the op on a save round. It gets a great pick onto Cruz.
You are powerless.
KO ult gonna get used there. The spike will go down in a safe spot away from the op. Ooh, Mo saw the head there of Bangsy, but couldn't quite connect the shots. This Kinetic gets another one.
Oh boy, they got so many rifles here. Marshals and ops.
Oh, Kinetic gets a third. It's a 2v2.
Prestige might have a huge flank here.
Oh, yes, he does. Oh, saw Solix there.
Ooh.
Solix is putting in work with the Marshal. Picks up the op.
Oh, that was a little bit closer than you'd have liked.
Oh my god. I don't know if Delete thought he had him killed. He just kept stop shooting. And I was like, oh, you and I both held our breath that entire time he allowed Solix to almost go through the op pickup animation.
You know, if it was a Vandal or a Phantom, he may have been able to get some shots back off at him there.
Oh, this was so sad. I don't know if that was calculated BM or what that was, but in the end, it's the same result. It's another Landslides victory, and I will say the one thing the Landslides have done really well, Hayden, is they've done a great job of changing up where they're attacking the Infernos. I mean, you see now they have 2 members on B. If they straight A rush, they have no utility because the Cypher's over there and the Viper.
Yeah, that is very true. They just don't let the Cypher like stick to one side because they're always threatening to go to the other one. So yeah, this Cypher has been detrimental to the Landslides if he actually gets his utility off.
It's all up to Solix in what was a 1v5, though he immediately got a quick pick. Make it a second.
He's got Spike down here.
Push them together. Oh, Boone. Look below you, Boone.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll take the bullet sponge, I guess, there.
Yeah. 1v5 and he gets 3 of them. You can't ask for much more than that.
No, it's a great minor dent in the economy of a team that's won 9 straight rounds. And unfortunately, it's another save round for the Infernos, and they're just simply starting to run out of time here.
At this point, I feel like the Infernos just need to start really mixing up their strategies. Maybe just go for a straight rush. Just catch them off guard as they would normally be getting ready to prep for a site take.
We have seen teams in the past do that exact strategy that you recommended on a save round. Just kind of go all out, pick up a couple kills, do what damage you can.
Just lead with some sky flashes, blind them, even if you only have Spectres and Buckies, you know. There's 5 of you.
Kinetic does have the knives. He got a knives and a couple of Spectres for the Infernos, and unfortunately they will not take our advice, and they will try and play for the hold as the knives do come out. They get the kill onto Boone and a reset, which allows for a kill onto Delete. And maybe Kinetic trying to get him back in the game.
They don't know there's anyone else there, but that's 2 rifles that could be going to their team.
You can see there on the screen, Solix and Kinetic both going to walk over to those corpses, pick up the 2 rifles. Zed Evan doing a great job holding off the landslide. Finally does go down, but bought enough time for his team to rotate over.
That seems to be the Cypher's just what he's so good at, is just delay.
Ooh, the Hunter's Fury does land. The Prestige is going to pick up a double, though. It is the 2 rifles left for the Infernos.
1 enemy remaining.
It's all up to Solix once again. And Prestige picks him up. I mean, the thing is, if you just joined us, you look at the score, you're like, this game hasn't been close. It's not the case, Hayden. Every round, except maybe 1 or 2, has been a 1-on-2, a 1-on-1, just not defusing fast enough. I mean, these rounds have been close. The Landslides are just executing better round after round.
Yeah. I mean, even in the 1v5, we still managed to see Solix get a 3K there. It's like every round, even if it looks like it isn't close, is going to be close in some way.
Fortunately, despite the close rounds, everything's going to land. All right. I like the A prediction there. You rip the Viper pick, you get an op kill onto Fangzy with that spike down included, and that's not a bad start for the Infernos.
Sadly, they weren't able to hold the spike there, but they got that Viper's pit. Boone with the very cheeky flank here.
Ooh.
No one knows he's in here.
Might be able to find Solix. Kinetic's going to push hard up with the op. Ooh, Zed Evans almost takes out Prestige with the knives. Does trade 1 for 1, and now it's all up to Boone and Delete.
Oh,
Well, now it's a 2v2.
unfortunate. If they didn't throw that bird, I don't know if they would have knew they were back there.
They should get a free plant on B. You have the Viper ult if you're Delete that you can kind of just throw down. That's exactly what Boone will, or what Delete will do. And that's going to neutralize a lot of the op pressure, Hayden, when you can't really see where you're shooting.
That is very true. Maybe they'll get lucky, you know?
Hey, never hurts to just kind of spray through. Oh, Boone's in the corner, but Mo wins that! Oh, wow!
Delete just getting a little impatient there. You have that such a big area to work with, you know, sometimes it's just better to just lurk in there.
That is great. I hope we get to see that again. That is fantastic crosshair placement from Mo as well. Comes around the corner. Boone's trying to be cheeky and just, I think you're right. I think it's just the landslide's being over-aggressive for the first time. I mean, there's no reason Boone needs to be that far forward unless he thinks he needs a cheeky pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think his idea was to just get that quick kill and then get back in there for the 1v1. But, you know, you have the whole Viper's pit to work with, and the decay on it, like, you have the advantage, even in a 1v2.
And they have the op, which is, oh, no.
Oh, it's like they know this time.
Yeah, they know. Now they really know as the shot misses. They kind of, oh.
They're just like looking at each other like, should you push first? No, should you?
Interestingly enough, it was actually Kinetic's own Viper wall from Mo that walled him off. Other Viper wall goes down, and Cruz gets that first kill. That is huge. It's a double kill for the landslides, and they're now in complete control of this A site.
One enemy remaining.
Wow.
Oh.
Just like that.
Unfortunate there. That's all I can say.
Switching sides.
11-1 at the half. Now, Hayden, can you help me out? I'm not going to ask you to lie, but can you help out me? Can you help out the Infernos teams? Can you tell us that Breeze is attacker favorite? That says it all. That says it all.
Gotta think on that one. Like I said, no one plays Breeze, so you don't know.
I was just saying, like, maybe we can be like, all right, Infernos, it's attacker favored. You can come back.
I will see. Maybe they have a good attack here.
Well, I mean, right now I like this start. They're going to hard B rush right onto the Reyna, holding down B solo, which is not what the Infernos did. The Infernos had their Viper over here, I would say, 90% of the time.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not leaving the Sage by herself on B here. Just wall it off as soon as they hear danger.
Interestingly enough, Cruz will just retreat. They'll hand the site over to the Infernos. They'll let them get the spike, and now we'll see very quickly how the landslides retake is going to look in a scenario like this.
They got a Sheriff, yep.
It's a great spy dart. Delete gets one. No Solic's going to answer right back. It's a 4-on-2. Delete's got a huge flank, but Zed Evans going to realize that. Gets a great blind as well. They're trying for the split attack here, but I think they know exactly where Delete is, unfortunately. Yeah, they just gang up on him. Boone has no life left. And Zed Evan will get the kill, and all right. There you go.
Yeah. Well, this most likely guarantees the second round here, so they have a chance.
Let's see what they do. It's interesting to me. I mean, it looks like we're going to send Cruz right on back to B solo. It's odd that you're picking a Viper and you're not having the Viper solo hold a point like we saw, which again, it didn't really work for the Infernos. It was 11-1 at the half, but interesting that that's not what the Landsides are using the Viper for.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to put the Viper on A. I wouldn't put the Sage. I'd just have the Sage hold B personally, but you know they might have their own plan here. They're leaving just the flashbangs, and then they're like, okay, we'll just retake site.
They hear the couple of Marshall shots go off. They know it's an A push from the Inferno, so everyone will rotate over. And now we'll get ourselves a full 5-on-5. Spike will go down as Kinetic picks up one. Of course, with the gun advantage, we expect the Infernos to win this round, and they're doing just that, get a couple of quick kills. Ooh, Delete's in a cheeky little spot here. Unfortunately, the right click not able to land, and it's all up to Prestige. And you can see the pings go out. A flawless round, and now the Infernos are starting to work their way back in.
Yeah, moving up here. If they can get this bonus victory here, this would be huge for the Infernos.
They had quite a hill to climb at 11-1 at the half. They've won the first two. As you said, this bonus going to be huge because now the Landslides will have the gun advantage.
They are bringing the Viper to B this time, though, like you were talking about.
I'm with you. I would be fine with either the Sage or the Viper. I thought it was odd that they just had the Reyna on B. That was the part that was honestly confusing me the most.
Yeah, because all she can do is throw her little flashbang Lear out and just hope for the best.
She can run away. Oh, Vipers and Boone, both with the Marshall and Vipers.
I mean, they hit the Sage. They just didn't get the headshot there. Or the Sky.
Now looking like they'll maybe retreat back to B site. Prestige not going with the buy. Probably tells you he's going to pick up an op next round. And what can Delete do? Well, he cannot see Solix. That's a huge pick. Now B's open, and I've seen this story before from the other angle. I think this could be a free B site.
Yeah, from the looks of it, I think the main thing is just not letting Reyna get those resets, which she's so dangerous with. But beyond that, it seems pretty secured here. Interesting that
On a buy round,
ooh,
there's really not that many buys for the Landside. That's a great headshot. I mean, Cruz didn't have a primary weapon. Neither did Prestige, and I think Fangsy has a Spectre. I don't think the Landslide's full upgraded that round, Hayden.
I don't believe they did. I think they, yeah, now they have rifles here and an op. I think they were just double saving, or only half buying there for the big full buy.
Yeah, saving so that I guess they didn't want Prestige to basically be not useless, but I mean, you basically have a pistol that round while everyone else full buys, and if you lose, your econ's messed up. It's just strategy.
Yeah, because they know have 11 points here. They only need to win 2. So, like, you know what, let's just play it safe. We'll go for a half buy. They know that the Infernos are probably on a bonus, too, so it would have been even weapons, not a disadvantage.
Curious how many of the Infernos went for the upgrade.
I think they need to upgrade in this situation. They got to keep this momentum rolling.
You see Solix sneaking around on B. A lot of mid control for the Infernos. His Prestige does now have that op.
Solix, forgetting he's playing Valorant and not Metal Gear here.
Ooh, Cruz gets a one as well. Set Evans goes down. It's all up to Solix. Hiding in those crates. Catches Prestige with the knife, unfortunately. Bad news for him is Spike is down. Well, picks up another one.
The fact that he dodged that knife was huge.
Fangsy's looking for the peek. Just trying to bring in some teammates. Fangsy gets the kill.
Fangsy, such a good job there, not just going for the ego peek. I know that's something I would have done.
That's something I feel like everyone does it once, and then they learn immediately that, like, why didn't you just wait for your teammate?
They did the smart little hop. They're like, oh, yeah, he's here. Okay, guys.
No, he's pinging. He's like, he's right here. I know where he is. He's right here. I will say Solix is probably somehow, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, you're always the last one alive, and multiple times in a 1v5, the fact he still picked up at least 2 kills every time, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, he's the Sova player, so they want him alive as long as possible most of the time, because he's always going to be useful in the game.
True.
It just is unfortunate when you feel like you're the last one alive. It's like, should I have been doing something?
Should I have been there? Nice, gonna get popped there for Prestige, who also has the op.
Your trail.
Seeker's gonna be used there by the Infernos, who are on match point.
The jellyfish.
Oh, Prestige gets another one. It's a 4-on-3. Those Solix will go get a trade.
3-3.
And we get the Hunter's Fury and the Viper's Pit.
Oh boy.
Blind misses. This will be a very tough retake for the landslides.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, the op's not very good in these types of situations where you either have to step in there or just shoot blindly through these smokes.
Oh, the right click from Prestige just misses. Vipers gets the kill. Cruz will at least stop it, rip the Empress, but die in the animation, and
that could have been very scary there.
the Infernos live to see another day at least.
Yep, they're holding on. They got rid of the op. I believe that will break their economy right now. Looks like another save.
Got rid of
the half buy.
Got rid of the op, wasted the knives, wasted the Empress. Not a bad round. You've also got the neural theft for Zed Evan here in case something gets a bit dicey on a save round.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a half buy maybe, couple of Spectres. And Ares as well. Ooh. If Prestige gets this flank, there's a chance.
Ooh, wow.
Wow, what a
They almost brought him down right then and there.
great lineup. Prestige catches him off guard. They're trading back and forth. It's a 3-on-2 now. So the Vipers is low. Cruz gets one more.
Reyna still has one more heal.
Heal up Zed Evan just a little bit. Health advantage is on the landslide side, and I think
If anyone can delay here, I feel like it'd be Zed Evans. He's been just doing a phenomenal job at keeping them at bay.
interesting. Fangzy went for the op, but he picked off a body, not a rifle. And that makes it a bit harder. Zed Evans, the heal comes through.
10 bullets.
Oh, the stall for time because he knows exactly where he is thanks to that spy cam dart.
Like I said, if anyone's going to delay time like that, it's Zed Evans.
What a play. The perfect.
Oh, unfortunate, but it doesn't matter.
You had to win that round.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you didn't want to lose your life, but you had to win. Still gets the full buy. That was a fantastic play. I mean, that's the second time now we've seen someone who's not going to take the ego challenge. They're just going to, this time, frustrating if you're the other team, just jump around a pillar because they know where you are, and there's unfortunately nothing you can do in that situation.
Yeah, I know. That Reyna Cruz, that just the whole character is ego challenge.
Yeah.
So
You're praying that Zed Evan ego chows you, but not the case. All right, match point here. This will be a huge pick for Prestige. And I think that was an op v op, and that is a huge win for the landslides.
yeah, no Sage here on the Infernos for a res.
Infernos will push up through mid. Solix gets a great pick onto Boone.
Try and even it back up here.
Oh, but Cruz and Delete go back to back. It's a 4v2. What can the last two? We just saw them clutch with Zed Evan and Vipers. What can they do this time? They have to win this round to keep their hopes alive in the club championships.
Oh,
Prestige is not going to let that happen, though. It's all up to Vipers. One kill from Seekers. Maybe you can make some magic happen if you get that.
Yeah, it'd be a 1v2. It'd be pretty possible.
Bruce and Viper, both trying to wallbang the other.
Blinded. 30
Gets the
seconds
audible
left.
cue. Do you have enough time to make it to A?
It'd be close. They got to run straight there. They can't even afford to go and stop and look for anyone on site.
Oh, we're going to find out.
10 seconds left.
There will have the whole site. Use the second Hawk.
It's going to be very close. I think they got it, though.
They did. Just barely.
Oh, yeah, you get the ult point, too, so they do have the jellyfish.
Found one.
Seekers do find everyone, but unfortunately Prestige does not care. He will opt Vipers. The spike will be diffused in the Vipers pit.
It's a valiant effort.
And a great job there by the Infernos, but the landslides hold strong. They advance to our semifinal. We'll see them take on the winner of Wildcat Esports and the Blue Monsoons in our last game of the night. Huge congratulations to them, you know, going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We saw that with the landslides. New team, same result. Esports Tower really takes time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I want to give a shout out to all of the coaches. If you're watching, haven't checked out Esports Tower clubs yet, you should. It's the perfect time. It's the fast track to rank up. Our fall season just ending. Our spring season starting up soon. Cannot wait for that. But as we wrap up this game, we get ready for our next game. Hayden, your thoughts on that landslides victory and what can we expect from them going forward? Because they look like a very strong team, especially with that team play on a map that we might not see too much, though.
Yeah, no, they did amazing there. I think one thing to look out for is Cruz. He's just a force of nature with that Reyna and just very heavy ego peaks and just winning the gunfights. That simple.
Well, we will take a quick break. We come back. It'll be the Floods and the Red Monsoons battling it out on a much more popular map, Ascent, for their spot in the semifinal. Who's this going to be, the Flood who have been red hot, or the Red Monsoons who are going to look to end the season on a high note? Find out right after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
our Esports Tower Valorant Rumble. It's the first part of the club championships here as we wrap up the fall season. We move into the new year, and so far, new year, same result. The Landslides, who were probably the most dominant team overall in 2021, come away with an early victory over the Infernos. They move on to our semifinals. We'll see them in our final game of the night. But right now, it's two other teams vying for a spot in the semifinals. It is the Floods and the Red Monsoons. The Floods have been red hot recently. A grand finals appearance, two semifinal appearances in the last 3 weeks versus the Red Monsoons, who have been working all season long and look to end on a high note. Fish and Hayden here calling all of the action. And now we go from a map that, Hayden, I mean, we talked about we have not seen in months really outside of its first ever appearance, into a map on Ascent that I think is a lot more common and a lot more popular. And I think a lot of teams are not going to get caught off guard by anything you can do because everyone's done everything on Ascent.
Yeah, we've hit that point on Ascent. Everyone knows any strategy there is. It's just a matter of countering it and using what you got.
Before we talk more about Ascent, we do want to take a moment to congratulate all of the Esports Tower Club members who have graduated from the clubs, been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, Esports Tower Club members have received over $1.2 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but have worked hard academically as well and have earned these scholarship opportunities. We cannot be more excited and proud to see all of the opportunities that these players are getting. Of course, those numbers only going to balloon as we head into the fall as these players graduate from the club and go on to their own collegiate esport opportunities. But again, this has been a ton of fun. Can't wait to see who we get a crown as club championship through all our number of Rumble games. That'll be happening this week and next week, and I'll go into the spring semester. But as we put the bow on this season, we get over to Ascent. As you just said, Hayden, everyone's done everything. They know every strat. So what are you looking for from these teams in terms of, is there a certain agent you like? Do you think it's all comfort? What are you looking for these two teams, the Flood Red Monsoons, to pick here as we go to Ascent for our second game?
I think the biggest thing that changes how you play is, are they going to take a Cypher, a Viper, or a Killjoy? So all three of them just make it instrumentally different on how you take the sites.
Do you have a preference between those three?
I feel like Killjoy is the very safe choice. You can never go wrong with her.
As I say, I like the Killjoy. I'm not a big, Icebox aside, you can, maybe Breeze, we shouldn't see the most impactful. I don't like Viper. I feel like offensively she's very limited in what you can do because Viper's Cage is very hard to use offensively. At least that's my opinion on it. But we'll see. As you said, I think Killjoy and Cypher are going to be the big ones. Maybe double duelist here, or do you think you just run a jet with the op and kind of hold down mid?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I guess it depends on how confident your team is in just winning these aim duels. Like we saw last round with Cruz, he just went in. There wasn't much to it.
Yeah, if you have a confident Reyna who's basically just going to play Reyna, as you said, ego challenging everyone, maybe that's the pick. Red Monsoons and Floods, somebody moving on to our other semifinals as we hop into it. It will be the Red Monsoons on the left, the Floods on the right. As we get in here, we get that Viper and the Killjoy that you were talking about versus just the Cypher for our Floods team on the right.
Yeah, no double duelist here this time.
We also get the Breach that we have not seen. Very rare, very sporadic. Tell me why, Hayden, somebody's bringing Breach to Ascent.
I mean, his flashbangs are very good. You saw they didn't bring in the Sky, which I think at the moment she's better than Breach in a lot of scenarios. But Breach, especially with his ult on either of these sites, the sites are so small that you're going to hit everyone, typically.
The Red Monsoons have a strong roster, added 3 new players just for the club championships, trying to end the season on a high note, so maybe coordination might be an issue for them. Meanwhile, the Floods, maybe one of the hottest teams in the most recent weeks, as I said. 2 semifinals appearances and a grand final appearance for them as well, looking as maybe one of our favorites heading into our club championship, so we will see who comes out on top on Ascent. As we see, it's a slow start here for the Floods on attack. Ooh, nice flash. There's those flashes you were talking about. But yeah. Montrapis luckily just hides back in mid, though. Does go down to Cozy there. That's a great first blood for the Floods.
Yeah, getting mid control this early on.
Hello. How about
It's
a great pick there.
Drops Pebble instantly. It's like, no, we're not letting you take Cat here.
Usually in pistol rounds, I mean, maybe I've just been, spoiled by the landslides. I'm used to teams rushing. The Floods are all in mid, and they really haven't gone anywhere. You said Cat is basically unattainable as Sunny Lee is holding it down.
Yeah, this is such an interesting Viper wall. It seems to be very effective at just telling them, yeah, you're not pushing there.
Does take a bit of damage, but it shoves them away from A once again.
Both teams are just kind of chilling here, like just waiting for the other to make the first move or make a mistake.
It's a 4-on-4. There's a slight health advantage for the Floods if you want to get ticky-tack about it. As now they'll rotate over towards B, where you talked about bringing a Killjoy. All of that Killjoy utility, or at least what is available, is sitting over on that B site right now.
Found them. Bomb grenade out. Targets destroyed.
They have to plant,
They're
though.
gonna plant. They got it off in time.
Spike planted.
Oh, they could not have made it any closer if they tried, though.
0.3, 0.4 seconds left. A very slow attack. 200 pump here right outside of market. That's been a successful spot for teams in the Esports Tower in the past. We'll see if it works out. As Pryor and 200 pump get a couple of kills, so does Cozy. It's a 1-on-3, and they barely get the plan off, but they win the round with ease.
Yeah. They felt so confident there. They're just like, yeah, no, we got time. They knew down to the millisecond how much time they had. Is interesting, though, that there was not a very heavy hold on B. I think they were expecting A to be the play for that round.
I was shocked that the Killjoy, I mean, it was a 1v3, and maybe that's just a silly challenge. But with that little time on the clock, I'm surprised we didn't see
Swarm grenade.
Datura try and challenge, because just any sort of small slowdown, I mean, essentially there, they couldn't have wasted any more time. Any sort of small slowdown, and you just win the round because they don't plant. So I'm surprised they gave them that site for free, knowing how little time was left on the clock.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also one of those things you don't know that they're going to just push in right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, if Killjoy was in the back of Boathouse and even, like, delayed them for, like, a millisecond there, that would have been it.
Now, one hesitation on the plant going down, and that probably is a one round for the Monsoons. Instead, they let them plant. They try and take the 4v4. It doesn't work. And the Floods win the first round and now have the gun bonus. Or the gun advantage, I should say.
And yeah, not to fault the Killjoy there,
No.
but
It's one of those where it's hindsight, right? We have the hindsight of knowing it didn't work. As Datura does go down.
interesting. Sova still in Swan. Maybe, it's a Sova. They could be getting those cheeky.
They have a lineup. They have a lineup.
It's going to bounce off 30 billboards and land right on the spike.
Sova mains have that, though. They just have, they're like, oh, yeah, I got this lineup. Hey, who even needs Sova? It's a flawless round.
Wow.
Who needs him?
Yeah. Here's the moral support.
They always have these, like, yeah, if you aim right here, like in this, your fourth pixel to the left at 80 degrees, it'll bounce off 10 billboards and land right on the spike. All right, Sova. You just do that, man. But again, I mean, who needs him? I mean, they get a flawless round. Of course, with their Spectres, now they'll be in the bonus, and we'll see.
Right there.
That's a very interesting buy. The Monsoons Red, despite losing the first two rounds, don't even have enough for full ARs. They had a lot of Bulldogs and a Spectre there. So this is a lot closer gun round than I think the Floods might anticipate.
Yeah, they got a couple rifles here. But
Oh, no.
oh, unfortunate.
It's an aggressive angle. You give the rifle right over to Rafa, who has been popping off.
Yeah. The main issue with that angle is, like, even if he got the takedown there, where's he going to go?
That feels like a great angle if they don't check that corner, but I feel that's such an obvious corner to check that you maybe get one and then you die, which I guess you take a 1-for-1, but you're handing over a rifle in the bonus, so.
Yeah. I think the main character who could take that, I don't know if Chamber is allowed.
Yes, Chamber is legal.
Okay. So yeah, a chamber or a jet could work there, but other operators, yeah, it's like you get the trade, and that's about it.
Well, Majabis does get the kill onto Rafa, so does get that elimination, though the rifle did get picked up by Cozy.
30 seconds left.
But once again, time just ticking down on the Floods, despite their 2-0 lead. Just taking a very long time to plan it. Majabis, there's a nice trade. Mail gets 2 more. And I don't know if Sova has a lineup. Maybe he's experiencing some issues here because
10 seconds left.
he's just chilling in spawn.
That double by Mail was just basically won him the round right there. That could have been a close one, even in the 4v5.
And, I mean, interesting to know, we talked about this at the start. The Red Monsoons made huge sweeping roster changes leading into this club championship. Moon, Sunny Lee, and Mail all joined the roster, which is a huge transition just to trying to make sure you get enough practices before your final event of the fall. And Sunny Lee's had a couple of good plays. Mail wins that round for him. Overall, the new acquisitions, at least early on here, paying huge dividends for the Monsoons.
Yeah. I really like that Killjoy setup, by the way. Putting the alarm bot right on the lever.
There's some fan.
Enemy
Oh,
kill.
what a pick from Majabis. I'm surprised he went with how much he's holding down mid. I'm surprised that's not an op in his hands. But he's very talented with the Phantom, so maybe that's why he didn't want to be too aggressive with the op.
Yeah.
But you can just shut down mid if you have a good op on a jet defending.
Hey, if they get the headshots, it's like an automatic op, you know?
That's one way to look at it. Do unfortunately think the Floods are, of course, a little bit hampered. I think Pryor might be running into some connection issues. Hasn't moved from spawn in the last few rounds, so
Yeah,
keep an eye on that.
interesting to see what will go on with that situation.
Get a decent 2-man ping on the dart there from Moon over in elbow. No, he's just waiting, but Pebble gets the fantastic pick. And Rafa gets to play it down, and I mean, the Monsoons Red don't know it, but it's a 4-on-3 in their advantage at least.
Blocking sight.
Taking this slow. That's the right move here. As long as they don't take it too slow.
See Rafa on the cam. I don't know quite where that Cypher cam is as Majabis goes down. Mail gets the audible cue on the blind. As Sunny Lee and Pebble will trade. Sunny Lee gets a second. It's a 2-on-1. And through the Cypher cage, Sunny Lee gets a third, and that'll be...
Oh, they don't realize.
Yeah, they don't realize that Sova's not there.
That was very confident of the Cypher to sit in that angle. I feel like anytime someone stands on that box, someone's going to shoot through the wall there.
Yeah, no, I was expecting someone to shoot through the wall. I mean, as we have the bonus of seeing the silhouettes, of course, they do not, and I think we'll take maybe an extended pause here to hopefully find Pryor to get back in, because not fair to the Floods to have to play in a 5-on-4. And as we do that, we've seen 4 rounds now. Hayden, of course, I do think the Floods have been a bit gimped, but after those 4 rounds, do you have a lean either way on which team you think is favored in this, or do they seem pretty close still?
They seem pretty even. I will say it's hard to tell because of that, the connection issues with the Sova.
Mm-hmm.
But both teams have been playing this very well. I think we definitely have the Flood just holding, or the Floods, doing such a good job just opening up sites and then just not being able to hold them afterwards. They've been getting a lot of these very clean picks early on. I think the breach is paying off dividends for them.
Yeah, the breach has landed a ton of utility. See the Cypher cage launch down there to Garden. That's a great lineup as Mail gets a 2-for-1 trade, which is a huge win for the Red Monsoons. Datura up in heaven, going to get one more. And even though it's a 5v5, which we're happy to see Pryor back, Monsoons Red kind of taking over here.
One enemy remaining.
Unfortunate. Got the candy cane there.
The 3 new players for the Monsoons Red. I mean, Sunny Lee just picked up a triple kill that round. Mail started it off with a 2-for-1.
Yeah, they've been doing very well. It's a good start for them.
And I will say the other thing that's interesting is you had said the Floods have done a really good job of taking sites, which I agree with. They also played so slow that they've come close to just not getting a site at all. That time they tried for the kind of the A hard rush, and it blew up in their face pretty quickly.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of just is the case for pushing A site. I feel like if a team, you either got to get that pick right away on A, or if you get bogged down in that archway, then it just all falls apart.
Here.
They're kind of split now. A little 2-2-1 action for the Floods, as Mayo will get another elimination, though Cozy can at least trade that one out and open up Garden. And we're right back to mid, where the Floods have spent a lot of time, but this time they kill Maj Abyss.
Pebble's already got a double kill here.
Fortunately, you just caster cursed him into the ground, Hayden, as he is dead now. You have to know the power, Hayden. You have to know the power.
I got to wield it with responsibility.
Exactly. You just got Pebble killed right there. As they're still just all in mid. The Floods are not a fast attacking team. Ooh, this is going to be a huge peak.
30 seconds left.
See if Moon maybe has a shock dart lineup for this scenario.
Cage triggered.
Cage is at least going to buy them some time.
Cypher still has Spider Hat here.
Here.
Needs to just get an elimination first.
10 seconds left.
Tur retreating. I don't.
Got it?
No, they barely have enough time.
This seems to be the name of the game for him, is getting this bomb down. Last second.
Great King Cuss going to land there. Well, they're spread out. Cozy's going to get a great flank from the defender's spawn as well.
Trying to give me a heart attack here.
What a play. I mean, you said it's the name of the game. The Floods now, I think, have 3, maybe 2 or 3 rounds where they play it with less than a second on the clock. But it's shocking to me that the Monsoons Reds are just letting that happen. I'm surprised they don't challenge because, again, 1 or 2 milliseconds of hesitation, and you probably lose that round.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just give them the site for free, and this time Cozy gets a huge flank.
Yeah, even if one person's in there, doesn't even kill the guy, just hits him to slow him down for a second, like, you don't get that plant then. It seems to be working for them, though. They just go slow and methodical, clear their angles, and then just kind of push into sight.
This is the one thing I think if you're a Floods fan you were worried about. Maj Abyss has been so good in the mid with a rifle. Now that he has the op, and there's no op, I believe, on the side of the Floods, mid is basically really unattainable. But you can't just simply Astra smoke it off.
No
and I don't
fear.
want to know why Mail has so many kills with the Bulldog.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's just their weapon of choice, you know, I guess.
That's their 3rd kill with the Bulldog, I think. At least 3rd.
Change their name to Bulldog only.
It should, honestly. Very rarely do you see someone willingly buying Bulldogs, as there's Maj Abyss in the mid with a great pick onto Pebble. Though Cozy will trade it out, so it's a 3-on-3. Boom. Oh. Well, gets the triple ping. Rafa's going to go for the plant. Oh. Just missed that lineup there for Moon.
This Jet on the flank here. Oh, goes down.
Did have like 2 HP. It was a nice attempt on the flank.
Yeah, and with a Spectre, it's like, just, you could even run and gun with it as long as a bullet.
They're both in hell. Maj Abyss jumps down, gets 1, knows where 200 pump is, gets flash, dashes away. And Maj Abyss will pick up a triple for himself. Moon will get the defuse, and Monsoons Red back in the lead here at 4-3.
That Jet dropping down with the op there is pretty impressive.
I mean, I like the idea, you know, you drop down or you both go in hell because you have an op that isn't close range. Now, did have the knives, but as you said, that's very impressive to drop down with the op, get a pick, and basically win that round. It was a 3-on-1, and now it looks like we'll see a timeout here from the Floods. Still a very close game. But I think if Maj Abyss has the op and they don't have an answer, mid is going to be unattainable, and mid is where they've won a lot of their round tape.
Yeah. If they get this mid control or cat, like they just kind of slowly push up, clear these angles, get the pick, and then kind of make them just choose, do we go all A or all B? And then pushing with, of course, 4 seconds left when they get the plant down.
Yeah, 4 seconds is generous. That's speedy in Flood terms, Hayden. We're talking like 0.4 seconds maybe. I will say they do have great counters to the op. They have the Astra, which can basically, you know, smoke off, in a sense, the entire mid gap. But I just think Maj Abyss is going to just run rampant over this mid area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this Floods comp. It has a lot of utility in it, but they also still are all good shots and just confident in their gunplay.
The Astra smoke goes down, but Moon ends up picking up the first kill. Ooh, Pebble with the Sheriff there getting one. Datura in Boathouse, learning from what you and I had recommended, goes down as well. And now they're going to get the plant down here in a 3-on-3 as Pryor still stuck back in spawn, unfortunately.
Interesting seeing the Stinger come out. I don't feel like we see that weapon very often anymore.
Not at all. Did get traded out for a Vandal. Oh, Maj Abyss gets caught off guard by the Stinger with the knives. And the Floods with a nice thrifty win there. And now they go up, or now they tie it 4-4, and I think they picked up the op as well.
Yep. I mean, sometimes all you need is just that confidence to go in, and, you know, you may die, but it's like, we just got to go and see what happens.
I mean, this time Datura learned, right? Datura's back in Boathouse this time.
Yeah, I think in that situation, it was just the jet dash threw him off.
The bum rush works out. Floods down a man. Still.
No, they don't know, but they're right in that crosshair.
Will land a concuss. Unfortunately, the close range op from Cozy is there's that rolling thunder that you were talking about. Basically takes out the whole site.
2 HP and a dream for the Cypher here.
Comes the rest of the Monsoons on half by at best. Yop, not quite able to land. Ooh, right through Market. Monsoons red outgunned a little bit. We've seen some fantastic Cypher camps today.
Oh yeah, both these Cypher players have just been crazy.
Thunder's Fury gonna come out here from Moon to try and make something happen. How Rafa is still alive, I do not know. As you said, 2 HP and a dream finally goes down. But Moonkeeper in a 1-on-5 just does not have enough. Floods win again, and now they're back in the lead, and the B rush plus that utility of that breach that you talked about comes in clutch for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rafa at this point I think needs to change his name to Neo.
I do not know how he lived that long.
It was interesting. He was standing in that box in the corner again, but he was the one who shot through it instead of getting shot.
Yeah, had a great Cypher cam. You saw the Cypher cam landed onto whoever he ended up shooting through the wall. And they kind of look around like, wait, where's the cam at? And then they die. So that would, I mean, again, we've seen some great Cypher play. Once again, though, mid is the focus. But I don't think Maj Abyss can contest now that Cozy has the op.
All these pixel peaks here, just waiting for someone to get a little too over-aggressive.
And this is the Flood strategy, though. They slow push. As you said, they start mid. They clear out either market or catwalk. And then they go to town. Moon is holding down all right next to catwalk and garden here. Should find Pebble. Saw the gun barrel, but just couldn't take the shot in time. Now they know he's there. Four members going to run in on him. Has the spy cam.
Oh, he's just got to run. Unfortunate.
30 seconds left.
Could not get the dart out. Ooh, Datura with a great shot in the back. Floods with a whole 20 seconds on the clock when they plant. Feels like a millennium to them. No cam this time for the Cypher. Ooh, nice defender Killjoy. I like that. We talked about the Killjoy being maybe one of the strongest operators of the three that you named, the Cypher, Killjoy, and the Viper. And that Killjoy ult pretty much guaranteed they'd win the round because they had every single escape angle covered.
Yeah, the only thing they can do is just run out of sight there, and then they'd have the crossfire on them.
Fantastic play by Datura. 5-5 here. Floods trying to battle through adversity, playing a lot of these rounds a man down. And still doing a pretty decent job of it. I mean, it's just the end there, that one extra player always going to be in the Monsoon Reds' favor.
One thing I want to point out with the Monsoons there is they kind of were adapting to the Floods playstyle. We talked about, you know, they hover mid and they hover cat.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the Jet player push back into market. We
Yep.
had the Sova player playing back in tree. They're like, okay, don't fight cat, don't fight mid. Just let them come to us, and then we'll just set up a defense around it. So
Yeah, and the Sova players you mentioned gets hit by the spy cam dart, but just runs away. I mean, he didn't end up surviving, but he didn't try to ego challenge a 1v4. He tried to buy time for his team. By the time he died, the whole team had already rotated up onto heaven, and that's just a gun advantage. And then we saw the Killjoy all come out. So I think you're right. They've adapted really well. So now how do the Floods change, right? If they want to play slow, how do you play slow without always going through mid?
they got to just start, especially if they want to play slow, they just got to do it from different angles. At this point, maybe push up A, see if they can get a just pure aim duel. Just have somewhere that they don't expect. It isn't just mid or cat. Or just sneak up and just play fast after that. But
Right now they're playing decently fast up through B. As Cozy with the knives gets the first kill. Majabis trying to get a kill onto Cozy. Can't quite do it though. Mail is there to deny the op transfer.
I want to see what happened there. They both had rifles there. Or one rifle in the op. And yet they were both using pistols.
I think Cozy had a stinger.
Okay.
I think he had stinger knives for some reason.
Just both of them miss every shot. And then
Yeah. I'm with you though. I do want to kind of see how that happened. As 200 Pump gets a kill.
Ooh.
And for all that craziness, the Floods win another round.
Yeah, they're just
Round before the switch.
trying to. It's starting to be like a chess game where it's like, okay, they adapted to this. Now we got to adapt to their adaption. And just going down a rabbit hole. Interesting. The Sova player is back now.
Hopefully able to stay there.
Oh,
But, I mean, he's been having issues, so I do want to ask you, Hayden, better to have 4 players attacking or defending?
I'd probably say attacking because typically you're fighting a split site. They're not going to have all 5 players in one position.
True.
So it's usually going to be like a 4v2 or a 4v3. And then 2 or 3 other players coming later.
Well, hopefully Pryor's able to stay, but if not, Floods would have to play with 4 men defensively after this round. There's the Neural Theft. Great use by Rafa there. Datura, right on out the other side of the Astra wall. Gonna see Pebble, but Pebble wins that trade.
That was clean. Just run on out.
Sunny Lee has the... I have no idea what's happening in the eco this round. Why does Sunny Lee have a judge in the final round before the swap? I will never know.
Cage trigger.
They probably had a specific close angle in mind for the judge. I know Viper is one of the better characters to take a judge on.
End up picking up a Vandal off the ground, though, and get a kill. 3-on-3 here. 2 members in Boathouse, 1 holding close for the Floods. Pebble goes down. Soda's 200 punch.
Wow.
Abyss gets the triple, gets the defuse, and we go to the half 6-6.
That was really clean. They just walked in there. They had Sova taking fire from them, and they just swept everyone under the rug.
Switching sides.
Not much time to spare either.
No, taking a page out of the Floods book.
I'm not a big fan of Boathouse, especially having 2 people back there, because as you saw with that shock dart, I mean, there's just nowhere to go.
That whole site, though, is very tricky to on the post play, unless you can like leave someone in B main or in CT or something. Because yeah, then it just comes down to it's like, oh yeah, they're either behind a box, behind that wall, or in Boathouse.
Yeah, either, or I mean, if you have a Sova lineup, maybe that's the other way, because you're right. There's just nowhere to go on that B site trying to hold for a retake. But we will see who comes out on top. 6-6 at the half. Winner will move on to our semifinal that we'll play next week here in our club championships. As Cozy and 200 Pump trying to hold down A all alone, which looks to be the target for Monsoon's Red, with 4 members hitting right outside the spawn.
Such a good angle for the breach here. If they push in, he just flashes through that box and puts the brakes on everything.
Now we get the slow rotate, at least for our spike player here. Back through spawn.
Oh, got a shot on him.
Yeah, Abyss taking a bit low, so is Datura. Cozy, I don't think he saw that rotate. If he peeks right now, he would see it.
I don't know if anyone's seen anyone on the opposing team yet.
I think you're right. I don't know if anyone has.
Like, is there anyone even in this match?
Rafa,
There we go.
yeah, Rafa and Pebble will be the first 2 over on B. Cozy will now join in on the fun and get a double.
Spike
And before you know it, it's all up to Moon in a 1v4.
He
Trying
doesn't
to
even
play-
have,
Nope.
yeah, unfortunate.
Floods come away victorious here, go up 7-6.
Yeah, it looked like A was the play there, and then they just saw Breach. And I believe it was Jet and with the Astra smokes. And they're just like, maybe this isn't a good idea.
Well, they'll try A one more time here.
Interesting. They only got the Jet on A this time. Oh, and they're forcing up here.
Yeah, as I say, they're going to force buy. Try not to let this game get away from them. Maybe catch Cozy and company off guard. The Astro smoke will go down. It's all up to Cozy, however. Now the rest of the team is rotating over. But I think the gun advantage might be on the side of the Floods, or on the side of the Monsoon's Red. But as I say that, Pebble gets a double.
standing.
And now it's all up to Sunny Lee. And the spike didn't even get planted.
No, the rotation. Oh, wow. They don't even know they're under there.
For a cheeky pick.
Seeing how much damage they can do to their economy in the moment is about all they can do.
They tried to push out, but unfortunately, they only get 1 in the end. So that force up does not work. And now the bonus pretty squarely in the favor of the Floods here, though they did get a couple of Spectres for their trouble. So they do at least get some buys. 2 of them, I think.
We'll see what they want to do in this situation. Yeah, it looks like just maybe like an upgraded pistol and that's it. Give them a little bit of a chance to take someone down.
This time Cozy has a lot easier job on the A site. Even going to push forward there a little bit. Is Majibis the first one taken down. Pebble even in the third round of the half, still with the pistol.
Datura got Pryor there. The frenzy.
Talked about that upgraded pistol. Kind of an odd 2-2 split for Monsoon's Red as Rafa gets another spray through the boathouse off that spy cam.
That spy cam is such a good one.
I mean, they don't know where it is.
Yeah, they've never had time to just look around for it.
So you see Sky retreating, Rafa on the pursuit. They even left the alt orb if Rafa wants to pick it up. As he'll see Mail shoot him in the back. And now it's all up to Sunny Lee, who I don't think is long for this world, as they are basically surrounded.
They're just going to give it all they got.
Oh.
They may have been able to get Cozy there, but...
Cozy at 13 HP had the great crosshair placement right on where the head of Sunny Lee was. And now the Floods up 9-6.
Interesting. They're Floods, 2 Spectres, a Judge, and 2 Rifles. I feel like they're kind of just thinking like, you know, we don't have to just full buy here. Because they still had a couple excess weapons. They're like, yeah, we'll just go with the Spectres. We're comfortable on them and just keep the economy.
Have won 3 straight rounds. I do like that play, as Sunny Lee, though, has the op. When's the last time you saw a Viper with an op, Hayden?
Ooh, that's a good question.
While the Jet pushes with a Vandal. Oh! And ends up ended up getting that despite the breach concuss.
The breach concuss there. Wow.
So we see the Monsoon's Red taking a book out of the Floods page. Great spot by Pryor right outside of Market. That site has worked numerous times in Esports Tower. It works again once more. As there's the Judge. They get spiked down, and well, so much for the gun advantage.
Pryor's gonna get another one. Pryor this round's just surprising people with these angles. No one knows where he is.
Sunny Lee gets 1. Unfortunately, that spike is very well defended.
Yeah, I think in this situation, you have 2 options, either to get the pick right away, and then...
Oh!
Or you just save the op here, which might need to be the case after that.
That was exactly what you were talking about, right? That was the pick you needed. They weren't looking at you.
It's unfortunate. So yeah, at this point, there's no way you can push that.
Time will expire. We'll see if they both push Sunny Lee. They do. So not only do they win the round, they deny the op, which is basically a huge win on that round for the Floods.
Oh, yeah. Losing that op is detrimental.
Pryor, who, you know, had some issues earlier in this match connecting, has been in some very cheeky places, getting a couple of picks here and there, and really being just an annoying pain in the side of the Monsoons.
Exactly. That Judge was such a smart idea there.
See what they can do. Datura goes down immediately to Pryor with a great pick.
That one was came literally down to the fact that they had a Spectre instead of a Phantom or a Vandal. 20 HP on him.
Meanwhile, the spike +1 goes down right outside of B main. Mail at least able to pick up 2, but now is the only one left. Misses the blind onto Pryor.
They don't know, but 20 HP on that Sova.
Ooh. They do know that Cozy has an op, though. That they now know. And
yeah, it's like, guys, I found the op.
guys, the op's mid. Did you know? Yeah, 20 HP, maybe that makes a difference, but that was a great double kill onto one and the spike by Cozy that kind of just won that round for the Flood. They just had to wait for the last few members to go down.
Huge.
This goes here.
See, the lineups.
Monsoons Red are running out of time.
Yeah, they're basically just asking, like, we dare you to push A right now. Breach and Cypher here.
Seeker's going to be used there by Monsoons Red. Oh, this is a great cam spot.
Yeah, I do not believe they want to push this A site. I don't think they know that the Cypher's there necessarily, but...
Ooh, Majabis catches Cozy with the Sheriff out, trying to shoot the Seeker. The Cypher cages. An interesting lineup there, but Majabis will go down. So now both ops taken off the map as Pebble kicks up another kill for the Floods.
Yeah, these Astra smokes are just keeping them from being able to push in. Because they know that Cypher's most likely got trips as well.
Pryor just hanging out
30
on
seconds left.
B site. Rafa gets a pick on to Sunny Lee. It's all up to the last two members of Monsoons Red here. And I think Pebble's not going to let this go too far. Oh, can't quite get the double.
Unfortunate. I've been in that situation too, and you see both them, and you don't know which one to aim at, so you kind of aim between them, try and split the difference. Oh.
Well, how about you just weaken him so that Pryor picks up a double kill with Diode?
Yeah, planned.
Match point.
Match point there, as you heard. What can the Monsoons Red do here against the Floods? Pebble gets taken out, but unfortunately, all that really did was enable Pryor to get easier kills.
Still possible for the Monsoons, just quite the uphill battle here.
I mean, you've got 4 ults this round. You might as well rip them all. The Killjoy ult and the Viper ult can almost guarantee you a round win if you use them on succession post-plant. Hunter's Fury will be the first one to come out, though.
Okay, they hit the Astra one time with it, I believe, based on her HP.
That's what it looks like. Astra right out in mid. Both Jets do pop the knives as Sunny Lee gets dropped down to 2. Whoa! Oh no, that would have been a disaster.
They were just fighting for their life just to get out of that room.
They did get healed up by the Sky, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Spike down B.
Maj Biscuits won. There's the Hunter's Fury this time from Pryor. Maj Biscuits the reset. Oh, right click though, so unfortunately no reset for the final 2 remaining members.
They do have to push into the last members of the Floods here.
Last player standing.
Ooh, Cozy's gonna right click with his own knives. And it's all up to Moonkeeper. What can you do? Gets 1.
They know where he is.
Cozy has the op.
I have the spike.
No, he doesn't have time, unfortunately. Yeah. They just had to go for it.
Yeah, they had to go for the challenge. I thought maybe they would when they got a couple of hits onto Cozy, but that was not the case. Red Monsoons bow out of the club championships to the Floods. Monsoons have worked hard throughout the season, have a lot to be proud of. The Floods, though, as we said, one of the hottest teams as of late. Several semifinal appearances, a grand finals appearance, and a club championship victory would be a great way to end your season. We will see them next week. Well, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. So the Floods are on to the semifinal. We will see that game next week. I believe they're playing the Drought. We're going to wrap it up, though, with our newest team going against maybe our most dominant team of 2021. I know the Landslides have changed rosters, but they're going to battle it out against Wildcat Esports, who are making their Esports Tower debut tonight. The winner will be the first team to punch their ticket to the club championships. But before we go anywhere, Hayden, I do want to get your thoughts on that game on Ascent. Floods battling through the disconnects, end up taking it home pretty strongly. What are your thoughts on that game we just saw?
That was quite the game. There was a lot of, as we mentioned before, a lot of just adapting to each other's strategies. We had them pushing mid and cat, and then all of a sudden we see the other side not going there, and then it just playing defensive around that. And so I had to change strategies so much. It was very much a well-deserved win.
Well, we will see the Floods next week again against the Drought. Winner of that game will be to our grand final. But we're going to wrap up the week one of the club championships with our semifinal Landslides and Wildcat Esports. Who punches the first ticket to the club championship grand finals? Find out right after this break.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back into this Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. It's the first part of the club championships. We'll wrap it all up next week. And first, we got to find out who is going to be in the grand finals. It's a new year. Will it be the same team, the Landslides, who dominated 2021, including 8 straight championships at one point in the summer? Look to make it to our grand finals tonight, taking on a new opponent in Wildcat Esports, making their Esports Tower debut. Grand final spot on the line. Of course, it is a new Landslides roster. Fish and Hay Hayden here calling all of the action. And, I mean, Hayden, this is a new roster for Wildcat Esports. We have not seen them at all. We know very little about them. I've told that they're a very strong team, but really not much more than that. So what are you watching for in a team that we've never seen before, taking on our seasoned veteran Landslides team that have really knocked off everyone they've come across, old roster and new roster combined?
Oh, man. They got a lot to live up to, I guess. It'll be interesting to see what kind of team they are. Just like, are they just a bunch of solo queue teammates who have come together and they're just all good individually, or is it really their teamwork that shines through?
Yeah, the only information I have on Wildcat Esports does lend itself to what you just said. There are a lot of individually high-ranked players. Nothing besides that, so we will see. We go to Icebox next. We talked about Breeze needing a Viper. If there's ever a map you need a Viper on, though, Hayden, it's most likely Icebox.
Yeah, I think Icebox as well as Breeze are just such large maps that a lot of the other smoke characters just don't do it. Especially, we see Brimstone just falling by the wayside each season.
Now, for Breeze, we saw the Infernos. They kind of left their Viper alone on B. The Landslides didn't, ended up winning that game. Usually, you just kind of tell your Viper, hey, go have fun at B on Icebox. Is there another way to play the Viper that maybe the Landslides will use, or do you think it's just going to be, hey, go play on Icebox, or go play on B, and we'll see you maybe every 3 rounds?
I mean, you can always just do that with the Viper. I feel like if you were to play it a different way, you'd have a specific strategy in mind that your team comp's been practicing and playing around. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, before we hop into the map, let's get to Doc's Keys of the Game, presented by the Esports Tower for one final time. Remember, a spot in the grand finals, a chance to be the club champion for the fall season is on the line here. So this is when Doc's Keys matter the most. And those are focus your angles and flank, know your win conditions, count cards, call abilities, and click heads. Said presented by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank off. Time to kick off our final game of the night, our first semifinal between Wildcat Esports and the Landslides. The Wildcats dominated their round 1 matchup that we did not see. That's what I've been told, against Blue Monsoons, coming into the semifinal with a lot of momentum. The Landslides came in as one of our favorites, looked to secure a spot in the grand finals. Remember, they were up 11-1 at one point on the Infernos in Breeze before wrapping that one up. Let's kick it off. Let's see who is moving on to the club championship grand finals next week. Will it be Wildcat Esports? Will it be the Landslides? Icebox is the determining factor. And I think besides Viper and besides Chamber, because we haven't seen him and he is legal, what other agents are you looking for?
I mean, I feel like you see a lot of Jet, but that's also every map, to be fair. And then going away from like the KJ Cypher train, I guess it's, do you see a Sova, or do you see, I've seen KO actually take the place of Sovas, because you have that knife to gather the intel.
That makes sense. I like the lineups on the Sova a bit more, and interestingly enough, you and I hyped up the Viper. There's Dan finally at least hovering.
Choose your agent.
The Landslides on the left, they're not going to pick a Viper. They'll substitute it with the KJ, which can work, but no Viper on Icebox is a very interesting decision.
Yeah, I feel like it can work, especially with Astra, because she does have the wall that is very similar to the Viper wall. But I feel like that leaves your B site takes very wanting.
Get somewhat similar. You get the double Jet, you get the double Sova. The Viper is the interesting one. You also have the Sage, and you get the double Duelist for Wildcat Esports. Just looking at team comps, I know there's a lot more to Valorant than that. Is there one team you're leaning towards here in our semifinal?
Not particularly. I'm excited to see the Astra and see what they can do here, but beyond that, I feel like they're both pretty even.
We will see. We will see if the Landslide's decision to not pick a Viper will come back and bite them, or if the KO Astra strat will be what pushes them on to the grand finals next week. Again, we have not seen this Wildcat Esports. All we really know is they have a lot of individually highly ranked players with a lot of individual strength. And we'll see if they can come together. And right now, they're already starting off on a different path. You see the KJ kind of being the faux Viper, and it's a hard B push. So This Killjoy is going to be tested right off the bat.
Her utility should get a lot of intel. Like, you can already see that the landslides are all running over right now. The Sage Wall comes up here, though.
Sage Wall, the Viper Wall, that should be an easy plant once the Swarm Grenades are gone.
Yeah, at this point, the entirety of the landslides are here, except for the Jet, who's watching for the cheeky flank.
Spike planted.
Boone gets the first kill. Cruz gets one more. Spike's down. Boone gonna at least get it to half.
Oh, no!
Oh, they just stood on top of each other.
Revealing area. Found them.
That was so unfortunate. Everyone didn't see through the Viper Wall. And so when they were trying to walk through, they didn't realize that other people were standing there, all bottlenecked.
I thought this was an easy round for the landslides. We get another great look at it, as you said. The Viper Wall, they can't see through it. They all just push through, and unfortunately, you know, look, it's the holidays. We've all just got back from the airport, Hayden. When you go through security, you don't just stop to grab your bag and put your shoes on. You grab your shoes and go to the bench. They just all stopped, tried to put their shoes on right next to each other and got gunned down. That's really what it felt like.
Got to take notes on that.
Grab your bags and move to the open area. Don't just stand on top of each other. And off of that early round, we see NZO gets a kill onto Delete and on to Fangzi. And with the gun advantage, Wildcat Esports just kind of taking over here, already up 4-1.
Wow, both the duelists there they're like mouse 1W. Just ran right through sight. They didn't stop for anything.
Well, now we get a buy round. Yeah, it was a just hold W round, as you said. I'm just going to walk through. I'm not going to stop at all. And now we'll see what the landslides could do in the full buy against the bonus round. NZO with the 4K.
Yeah, interesting. Both teams have Jet and Reyna. I can see the Jet on this map, but the Reyna definitely feels like it's more of a comfort pick for both these players. Basically, they want them to frag out here.
Well, and the interesting part about the Reyna for the landslides is part of the reason the landslides were so dominant in our first game is Cruz was popping up, and you and I talked about that. Cruz is now in the Killjoy as he gets taken out. Delete's moved over to the Reyna, so it's interesting that was the age that they picked. Is Boone does pick up a double at least. Delete on that Reyna gets a kill, so at least now the landslides have a 3v2 advantage.
Ooh, trying to get this pixel angle.
Oh, wow.
Was that a double headshot there?
I believe so.
Just outside of the regular headshot range. They're like, fine, I'll do it again.
Interestingly, both members of the landslides are over on B by Container trying to stop Young, but the problem is,
they got one though. Brought it to a 1v1.
Surge just playing it on A without any competition.
They're just like, all right, you go, I'll hold them off for you, like some action movie.
Exactly. You go plan, I'll be the sacrifice. The fact is you said that he at least picked up one in a 1-on-2. At least makes this an easier time for Surge. Ooh, Guardian though. 3K for Delete, and the landslides, who once again, we saw this in their first game that they had a huge lead and we thought maybe they didn't really, wasn't a big deal. They're saving or half buying on round 3, so I would assume they can full buy when Prestige gets the op on round 4, which is interesting.
Yeah, the op is very huge on this map. Not so much for mid, but both B and A just have those pixel peaks where you can just instantly turn the game into a 5v4.
Well, the op has been picked up for Prestige. It'll be all rifles for the Wildcat Esports side. And pretty much a full buy for everyone except Delete, who even after the 3K will just stick on the Guardian.
Oh.
And there's that kill. We didn't get to see if it was a pixel peek or not, but there's that immediate pick with the op, and it's a 5v4 right away.
Are they committing to this? Oh!
Saw the
Got a
gun.
little overhyped.
Delete's looking for a little bit of a flank here with the Guardian, though. You can see Yong on that Sage kind of predicting it, looking towards mid. They don't quite see each other as NZO gets a kill onto Boone. And now A-Site's pretty much wide open.
Boone just getting a little over-aggressive there.
Landside's rotating out early. They had complete control of this A-Site, but got a little impatient. NCO gets another kill. Oh, Prestige. Almost saw him. Does pick up Dan, though.
No Viper lineups they have to worry about here.
Delete does have a player right below themselves as Prestige picks up a third. The Empress gets popped, but Yong immediately gets the kill.
Now they know, though.
Sage Wall going to be trying to be broken. Cruz gets taken out. Prestige looking for the ace.
Battle of the Duelists.
Oh, every knife just misses. It's a 4K for NZO and a 3-1 lead for Wildcat Esports.
I don't know if we'll get to see that again. Oh, we will. I'm fairly certain what happened is they were right on their head, and they crouched at the perfect moment to dodge these knives.
Let's take a look at it. I think you're right. Yep. Every single one of those knives, just as you said, Hayden, hits right where NZO's head is if he doesn't crouch.
That I don't know if that was intentional or not. I think they were just crouching as they sprayed to make themselves a smaller target, and it worked perfectly.
Fantastic job. I mean, that's now 2 rounds where just one minor thing has given Wildcat Esports lead. This could easily be a 3-1 landslides lead. But unfortunately, they're on a save round. Wildcat Esports are in a full buy round, and that's never going to go over well.
Nah, the most they can hope for is to get a pick or two. Just make them buy more rifles and armor.
Immediate plan on A.
Interesting slow orb there.
Karma, who picked up Prestige, or at least was probably gifted Prestige's op by NZO, gets the kill onto Prestige, who's looking for the flank. And now that's going to make that retake even harder, if not impossible, just because it's pistols versus Phantom and Vandals, and one kill, I guess, is nice. You deny the op, which I guess is the biggest money target.
Oh,
NZO.
nothing they could do there.
How many kills do you have, NZO? That's his third 3K or better of this series, and it's only round 5.
Yeah, we'll have to see next time they pull up the scoreboard here.
Absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, what advice can you give to the landslides to try and turn this around? Because it just feels like Wildcat Esports is just the stronger gun team.
I feel like, and I don't know if they were just thinking they were going B, but they had such a good A hold. They got that pick a few rounds ago, and they just kind of all left. Just kind of gave them sight. I think getting an op back on their jet here could be the key.
Prestige had that 4K, gets taken down there. Unfortunately, as the B site starts to open up, though it is a 2-1-2 split for the Wildcat Esports as Dan goes down in mid. Boone was, we've seen some fantastic Marshall play today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he even gets, oh my goodness. Wow. I think he even got the dink onto Karma as well, who's getting healed up by the Sage. Boone with some phenomenal Marshall usage.
I'm curious if Boone's name is after the Fallout New Vegas character, who also is a sniper, so.
The way he's playing, I mean, that seems correct. Hunter's Fury comes out, not as accurate as the Marshall, however. Did get that revive to at least make it a 4v4. Is Delete's trying to hold it down. Really all by himself here. Oh, great shock dart.
Unfortunate. I think that shock dart was the difference between that Reyna getting the kill or not.
Fangsy gets traded out. Cruz will throw down the defender Killjoy.
Nope.
The Hunter's Fury will just simply Eliminate it.
Ult for ult.
And Boone just barely looks top. And that small nanosecond is the reason why Surge lives, and Wildcat Esports now up 5-1 this round.
Unfortunate here. I'm having a hard time thinking of what they can do different, because they have some great plays here. Just not able to pull through in the end.
I mean, the problem right now for the landslides is basically they get a even round every other round. Because they get a bye, they lose, and they have to eco.
The economy just slowly is growing on top of the few rifles they have to buy back.
See, once again, they're forced on marshals and pistols for the landslide. And I mean, that feels like the biggest difference here. Maybe they can get a lucky pick with the marshals. Delete gets a headshot onto Dan. Somehow they're making these marshals work against rifles.
One shot's all it takes, you know? Even if you don't get the headshot, they're within kill range. Even for pistols.
And Zio, a couple people looking at him. There's another marshal kill, this time for Prestige.
Like, see, we can do this too.
Unfortunately, Karma has the bigger and better marshal. Ooh, dodges one. The Sheriff does some damage, so Karma's forced to relocate. Fangzi gonna hop right on top of Young. He picks up one, can get a second kill onto Karma, but unfortunately Surge is waiting in the background for the triple kill clutch. And Wildcat Esports wins another round.
That was unfortunate for landslides, but I gotta give it to Surge there.
Was just in the perfect spot. Just barely misses that shot onto Fangzi. Though again, this is, I mean, you talked about it. The ways they can get back in the game, put Prestige back on the op. They save up enough so they get the op this time for Prestige. So maybe this is the round the landslides start to put a dent in that Wildcat economy that's growing and growing.
It's also, you know, maybe it's just landslides are a better attacking team for this map. We never know. This map simultaneously feels defender and attacker sided.
Right now it feels Wildcat Esports sided as Karma got a great pick onto Prestige in the op battle. NZO off the Empress is going to look for nearly a triple but runs out of bullets. But unfortunately the trade means it's all up to Cruz. Does at least deny 1 and 2. That's 2 ops shooting at him. But unfortunately Dan will get the kill and should get the op. Oh! I don't think they found the op in time. Which, when you've won 7 of the last 8 rounds, doesn't really matter, but
It's something, though.
it is a small dent in the economy. And it does look like, for the most part, the landslides get back-to-back full buys. I think they got 3 ARs, a Judge, and a pistol.
Interesting.
Got a Guardian there as well, so
Yeah, I mean, the Guardian's not the worst gun in the world.
slightly better than a half buy.
Oh.
That is not better than a half buy. I don't even know how Karma landed that shot. He was airborne when we went away from him, and all of a sudden he picked up a kill onto Prestige. NZO gets another one, and I got nothing for you.
Yeah, Wildcat is just so confident in these plays right now. They're just kind of going in. They're like, you know what? I just feel like I can win the aim duel right now, and just playing off that.
We've talked about it in the past. The hop is such a momentum-based weapon sometimes, and Karma right now feels like he cannot miss a shot. Picks up a triple kill that round. I mean, yes, Fangzi was at 1 HP, but he ego challenges him basically point-blank range with an op. And still gets the kill. I mean, nothing is just going right for the landslides right now.
And it's very unfortunate to see. I feel like if they can take a couple rounds off them, it's going to make Wildcat start playing a little more methodical, and maybe they can start finding a weakness within their plays. But right now, it's just they're confident on these
Oh,
angles.
man. Prestige had the knives out, just gets pushed through the smoke. It's already a 5-on-1.
Oh, jeez.
Delete, what can you do? At least picks up a Vandal, but I'm not sure how much that'll help. NZO and Dan are looking for you, and Dan's going to get the kill. And it is 9-1. Wildcat Esports right now.
Yeah, I think the best they can hope for right now, if they can win like 2 more rounds here, and then if their attack is pretty good on this map, they might have a fairly good shot at this.
Wildcat Esports now 4 rounds away from their first ever grand final appearance and their first ever Rumble. We've had that happen, I think, 3 or 4 times this fall, so it would be fitting to happen in the club championships. As you see the knives get popped by Karma, not only good with the op, but with the knives as well. There you see NZO, how about 18-5? Finally, they stop Karma. But
Got an op for the landslides now.
Welcome to my world.
If they can get a good pick or two.
Viper Pit does go down there for Dan to basically wall off the spike. Make it even harder for the landslides to be able to challenge this.
Kind of nullifies landslides getting that op here.
Yeah, maybe you save the op for next round, as we do see Cruz killed Dan, and then Dan was revived basically in the same sentence as Dan. Looking for the hero play, gets taken out, and there it is. The landslides might, as you said, they go in a couple rounds. It's 9-3 at the half. They at least win a second one, so they get it to 9-2.
I don't even know what to say. If there was any round that they weren't supposed to come back from, I think that was the one.
True.
That was impressive. Well played to landslides there.
I think my favorite part was Dan dying and then being revived with zero hesitation.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, we're bringing him back.
It's like the Sage was just spamming the res button. I don't know if that meant he didn't trust Dan or what, but...
Oh, man. Yeah, it's like, all right, back into the meat grinder you go.
Exactly. We're gonna destroy that KD real fast.
Oh.
Simulating Halo flag running by throwing our weapons so we can move faster.
Flag drop. Flag picked up.
Ooh, Karma. Rushing in. Hunter's Fury comes out. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's a peek you want to take. NZO's watching up in heaven where they know Boone is. The defender Killjoy comes out, but unfortunately in the same exact spot, and Surge reads that.
Oh.
3v4.
I didn't realize there was a sage wall there and thought they just started floating.
They haven't had to use the Sage Wall recently, as NZO picks up another triple kill.
Oh.
Make it a 4K to end the half. And Wildcat Esports are now 3 rounds away, from making it to their first ever grand finals. But you get the reset with the pistol round, so all that eco they had saved up is gone now.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can win the pistol round. That basically guarantees them 2 here.
Yeah, I would get it to 10-4. Then you never know what can happen from there. But, I mean, Wildcat Esports just has so many good players. I mean, Karma's taken over in terms of the op highlights, but, I mean, NZO's quietly sitting on, I think, 23, 24 kills right now in a half, which is absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah. Just a one-man army at this point.
See what they can do. Pistol round. First time in a while the landslides have been on even footing, at least gun-wise and econ-wise, with Wildcat Esports.
Okay, they know they're on B. They got everyone already rotated and 2 on the flank here. This is going to get interesting really quick.
See that Viper utility. And NZO gets the first elimination on to Fegsy. Picks up a second onto Cruz, because why not? As it's Delete who's looking to make a play. Both Reyna's popping off. Dan gets one. It's a 1v2.
Oh.
And NZO will pick up another triple kill. And now, do you up by here or do you save for the final round on match point?
I feel like you got to go for it because they're down so many rounds that trying to fight for it just to get it to overtime might be a little too much to ask. If they can win this with the force buy, then they've effectively destroyed Wildcat's economy for a good bit.
They will force the buy for Spectres, though I do believe we got an AR picked up by one. Yeah, NZO's going to pick up the Vandal because why not?
Oh, no.
The double off the bat. It's all up to Cruz, who does pick up a double at least. Gets a triple, but Surge will get the kill. And now it is match point, and there is no economy left for the landslides.
You hate to see it. I believe that was the dagger in the heart, as I've heard you and Neil refer to.
One last chance. You're going up against mainly ARs. You've got 4 Spectres and a Marshall, and the way players have played with the Marshall today, Aiden, it's not the worst.
True. Let's see if we can get some early picks with that Marshall. That could be huge for the landslides here.
Landslides look through mid. They get a great pick onto Karma to start things off, who was trying to basically go airborne, but Dan with the judge will eliminate Boone.
Traded out, though. If they can drop NZO here pretty quick, this could, I think, single-handedly swing the round for landslides.
NZO looking towards Prestige and company on B.
NZO does have Empress, though. If they pop that and manage to get those resets, it could swing completely the other way, though.
Landslides will regroup up towards mid. Young has a great angle as we see a trade there. There's that Marshall.
Ooh, just missing him.
3v2. They're going to actually have a great flank because they don't realize it.
You fought well.
Young gets one. Fangsy has to be careful. Fangsy battling with the spike means that Prestige is all alone up tubes with no spike. We'll get the AR at least.
30 seconds left.
Sees Young. Doesn't have any armor left though. And just gets taken out. And Wildcat Esports with a dominant 13-2 win will advance to our grand finals next week in the club championship. They'll play the winner of the Floods and the Drought, which will take place next week. Again, though, this new Landslides roster, we'll see if they can come together for next season in the spring. But congratulations to Wildcat Esports. And I mean, we've only just the first game we've ever seen them, Hayden, and I already feel like they're the favorites to win it all because, I mean, that was a dominant performance against one of the favored teams in our club championship, the Landslides.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely there. I feel like there was a little bit of overconfidence there, and I think in some situations, they were up so much. It's like, oh, sure, we lose a round. It's like, okay, time to get serious, but it'll be interesting to see if they go against a team who can halt some of those attacks and see if how they change up their play style or if they can't adapt.
Well, congratulations to Wildcat Esports. I think you're right. I think if a team can challenge them, I'm curious how they play from behind, but you let them get ahead, it's over. I would love to see NCO's final kill stats. He might have dropped 30 in only 15 rounds, which is absolutely insane, but we will have to wait and see. By the way, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. And now, Hayden, it's the toughest part of the night. Your nomination for the Idaho Central Credit Union Player of the Game.
Can I bring up two?
Oh, I'll let you have two.
Okay. Personally, I really loved Zed Evans' plays on that Breeze map. Cypher is not a good character on Breeze, and yet he played phenomenally there. Definitely held up his his whole site every game. But personally, I think it's going to be NZO. They were just a force on the entire map.
I agree with you on NZO. I mean, I think Karma probably also deserves a nomination for some fantastic op play. It's going to be very tough because I think there are a lot of very strong performances in all three of our games. I think maybe the hardest part is going to be, I think that last game is going to leave a bad taste in your mouth if you were looking to go for maybe somebody like a Delete or a Cruz or a Prestige for how they played on Breeze as well. You know what? We've nominated a lot. I think it's going to be either NZO or Karma. We will see, though, here who our Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game is. And it's actually going to be Maj Abyss, who was phenomenal for Monsoon's Red. I mean, not playing, the hard character play like the Jet, but felt like at times basically holding down mid in a 1v3, doing everything they could to keep Monsoon's Red in that game.
Oh, yeah. I think, especially on Ascent, Jet, there is so much pressure on you. Because if you lose that mid fight right away, that opens so much of the map for the enemy team. And they played so well, and they adapted especially. Because they started learning how to fight the floods here, and just played the way they needed to.
Congratulations to Maj Abyss. They're the player of the game, brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union. Lose a great player makes the team more successful. It's like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Maj Abyss is your ICCU player of the game for week 1 of our club championship. So we'll have week 2 next week. We'll have the Floods taking on the Droughts in our second semifinal. Then we'll have the winner of that playing Wildcat Esports in our grand final. So we've seen Wildcat Esports. We've seen the Floods. We did not see the Drought, though. Your takeaways, though, from tonight, Hayden, as we prepare for next week and we prepare to wrap up this fall season with our club championships and hand out those club championships trophies next week in Valorant.
I think it's going to be an exciting week next week. There was a lot of good teams, a lot of good plays. Like, we saw a lot of teamwork, not just good gunplay.
Yeah.
And just seeing how these teams change and adapt, because everyone had such a different play style. I especially liked, I believe that was the Floods' last second plants. I like the slow and methodical play style instead of just mouse 1 and W.
Don't talk smack on the just hold W. Come on.
I mean, if it works,
It's fun. It's fun to watch. But I agree with you. I think if you can make slow and methodical work, I don't know if the Floods will be very successful with slow and methodical if they end up playing Wildcat Esports. That might be a yin and yang kind of styles that don't mesh up well, but we will see. It's been an exciting night of matchups here in the bracket stage for this week's Valorant Rumble. We saw Wildcat Esports qualify for their first ever grand finals and their first ever event, and they look very dominant. Next week, we will see who will join them in the club championships between the Floods and the Drought, and then we'll see who will take home the final championship of the season. As a reminder, the conclusion of our Esports Tower Valorant Club Championships next Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Mountain, right here on the Boise State Twitch channel. We will close out with our top 5 presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs, offering a $20,000 bonus and your group choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams out there. Here are your top 5 from the bracket stage of our club championships in Valorant. Interesting that on a buy round, there's really not that many buys for the landslide. That's a great headshot. I mean, Cruz didn't have a primary weapon. Neither did Prestige, and I think Fangsy has a Spectre. I don't think the landslide...
Cruz popping Empress here.
Hunter's Fury also going to get ripped. Not able to find anything as Cruz picks up 1.
Oh, unfortunate.
Mo. Oh, Fangsy gets him through the smoke. The Boone. Gotta land your bullets there. Prestige and Cruz both pick up 2. Now it's a 2-on-2 with the landslides having the health advantage here. What?
Oh, wow.
What? What? Excuse me? Sky, but I don't think it's going to matter. Maj Abyss gets 1. There's the Hunter's Fury this time from Pryor. Maj Abyss gets the reset. Oh, right click though, so unfortunately no reset for the final 2. And off of that early round, we see NZO gets a kill onto Delete and on to Fangsy. And with the gun advantage, Wildcat Esports just kind of taking over here, already up 4-1.
Wow, both the duelists there they're like mouse